Brian Brownfield alongside Curtis Lewis. And we've played already 27 minutes here in this opening half, and I'd say the pitch is holding up pretty well so far.
Looks great. I think anybody would be satisfied playing down there.
We saw a little bit of slipping and sliding early, but it seems like players now know what to expect, so they're able to kind of find themselves a little bit, be more cautious if they need to be, but they can make the proper cuts. And you know, we talked about this earlier, but it kind of feels like a Midwest game a little bit, doesn't it?
It does. Probably a little bit more of an early October Midwest game, but the wetness on the field, a little bit of humidity in the air, but it's it has a feel of a West Coast or a Midwest game rather than a West Coast game with precipitation.
Yeah, I like that you put in there that it had to be like an October Midwest game, because last year Hastings hosted an opening round against Rocky Mountain College. They lost 3-2, but they had to play in a blizzard last year. It was about 6 inches of snow that came down in Hastings, and they said, you know what, game on. We're going to play, and I don't know how you score 5 goals in a blizzard, but there were 5 goals in that game, and unfortunately for the Broncos, they came out on the wrong side of that 3-2 decision. But yeah, I'm sure they'll take this California weather over playing back home in Hastings.
I think anybody would. I wish some more fans come out here to enjoy it because it's beautiful weather.
And so far, the Broncos down to the #1 offense in the NAIA, 120 goals for Central Methodist. And you look at the goals per game, you start talking about some of the numbers, 4.8 goals per game, a mark that ranks 3rd in the country. #2 in assists with 93. And you got guys who light up the scoreboard with points. I mean, countless guys who have 20 or more on the season. Pangrazzi, 51 points. 44 now for Hernandez after his assist on the Kazim goal. And then you got 20-plus points for Paredes, Kazim, Luengo, Scheckerman, Herman. It just doesn't stop with this Central Methodist offense. Swung along towards Francisco Arevalo, the captain of the team for Hastings College. Stegging can't keep one in play, and this goes back to Central Methodist. Second ever trip to the national championship for Hastings, or for Central Methodist. For Hastings, this is their 15th trip to the national championship. Both teams have won titles here before. Last year in Irvine, Central Methodist doing the job in their first ever trip, and the most recent title for Hastings 4 years ago in 2016. As Pangrazzi shuffles one to his right, he's got Hernandez. Now he'll let go a long-range shot, and that one soars onto the walkway behind the goal.
You can tell they've done their homework on Pangrazzi. They've shut him down well. I think a little bit of the problem with Central Methodist is they have more than just one player who can score.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and Hernandez is one of those, and look at all that space that Poynton gave him to let go that shot. I suppose the only bit of good news there is that you still had one defender in front, you had the goalie, and he was a long ways away. So
yeah, they need to definitely close that shot down. You can't keep allowing forwards who know how to score goals shots like that.
Here's Paredes with it, pressured by Cudini. Turns around, and now he'll slide one ahead towards Hernandez. Hernandez waits. He had Connolly working on him, and now that's Poynton who pointed one away in the box. Now he'll get another chance, and he'll just launch that one clear. Play has really been exclusively on that left side of the pitch, the attacking half for Central Methodist now ever since Kazim got his goal. Kazim broke the scoreless tie and has put us at the 1-0 score that you see there on the scoreboard. 14 minutes left to play. Kazim wants another one, deflected by Quartas, and he's able to recover it.
Good save. That's a game changer right there.
He almost wasn't tall enough. He was fully outstretched on the leap. And Quartas, it almost saw it go right through his mitts like we saw with Andre Vidali back in the quarterfinals when Missouri Valley got knocked out of the tournament on the only goal scored by Lindsey Wilson College in that contest. It was raining over there on the turf fields, and Andre Vidali just saw one go right through his mitts. A tough way to get knocked out of a tournament, but a very similar one almost happened right there. Fortunately for Quartas and for the Broncos, it went straight down as opposed to actually going through his mitts and over his shoulder.
Yeah, he got enough on it to just parry it away. It's a tough tackle.
Kazim was upended by Arevalo, and now we'll get a late whistle. And I think they're going to call a foul on that spot as Arevalo gets a talking to by our referee.
dangerous set piece.
Let's get a second look at that tackle.
Yeah, it's amazing. Defenders feel like they never foul.
Isn't that funny how that works out? Defenders feel like they never foul, and strikers feel like they always get fouled, right?
Amen to that. Depends on what side of the ball you're on.
Now, what position did you play?
I was a number 10. I was an offensive center mid, so I could get a little bit away with both of that.
You kind of have experience on both sides of that coin. With 12 and a half left to play, 1-0, and a free kick from a very good spot. Hugging the sideline over there are the Eagles. They'll crash here in a moment. Directing traffic there is Hernandez, and Hernandez bends one towards the back post. Knocked away at first by Quartas, and then cleaning up is Joe Connolly. He works one free, and now we'll see substitutions for both sides. For Central Methodist, number 11, Guzman Perry is on, and Sean Grady comes on. Tyrone Madani comes on for Hastings as that ball sent back into the box, knocked away. Perhaps a second chance that's snuffed out. And now here comes Stegging. And let's see if he can get a little bit of a rush with some real estate. He finds Getz. Getz has to hesitate a little bit just to stop it. And now he goes back towards the midfield stripe.
If they can swing this ball to the other side, they have an opportunity here.
Getz cutting back to the right. And the opposite direction that Curtis Lewis wants them to play it. Now it's back towards the midfield stripe, Lisboa. Off his head, and the Eagles will send one out towards the midfield. It's hugged back towards the end where we are here in the broadcast booth. Wheeler has a lane, had a man slip. Now back to the right again, Stegging. Stegging's got a pair of helpers in this tournament. Can he let go across? Waits, deflected, almost a handball. Kept in play. Getz will send one across, and there's the attempt deflected, and out it goes. It was Alvarez who had that one ricochet off the shot by Madani.
Creative. You know, Watson has, we haven't said his name much lately. I think at the beginning of the game he was all over the ball. He's finding himself a little bit more in the false nine, which is more of a goal-scoring situation, but he's not getting the ball as much.
We'll try to have him feed one into the box for somebody else to score here on this corner kick. Watson works quickly, bends one in towards Gillet. He punches it to the heavens. Kazim has it go down off his shin. Back towards the end line. Alvarez tries to shield off Lisboa. Does just that. A goal kick is on the way, and now more substitutions. Two more subs for the Eagles. 17 and 25 are coming on. 17 is Jayden Johnson, who we've seen start every contest so far in the national tournament. And number 25, Gian Marquez comes on as well. He's out of Brazil. Marquez at 6'4", 210 pounds to add some more size up there on the front lines for the Eagles. The one thing that we haven't seen yet in this tournament is Pangrazzi and Marquez out there at the same time. You'd have 6'4" and 6'3". Now that would be some size.
It's hard as a center backs to deal with that.
Fortunately for the Broncos, they have a couple of the best in Poynton and Aravalo. The ball ricochets to the sidelines, and we'll see another throw in here for the Eagles with 9 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here in our opening half. A 1-0 advantage for Central Methodist University as they try to go back-to-back in the national championship. Jayden Johnson will have the toss. Johnson is out of Columbia, Missouri. He's the lone player from the states that we have seen start in this tournament as he fired it in with his little flip, some slipping in the box. Taking a shot is Herman, and it bends wide right. A lot of traffic there to try and thread that one through.
Yeah, it is, but sometimes you take that shot because there's a lot of traffic. It can get a deflection. The goalie is blocked. They can't see a lot.
As we've seen a lot of times in this tournament, Curtis, the deeper you get in, the tougher it is to make that last shot. Central Methodist, they do a pretty good job of it typically, and that's why they're 9-0 all-time in the NAIA Men's Soccer National Championship. They've never lost here in Irvine, as a matter of fact. Just 2 trips unbeaten to this juncture as that ball sent in towards the post, and Quartas is able to evade traffic and get in there to stop it.
That's an impressive statistic, being here and not losing. That also gives you lots of confidence.
And then when you play with a lead, even better. Here's Paredes. To the left, it's dished. All the way over towards Marquez. Had some space for a moment. It closes up. Taps one ahead. Aravalo off of him. Recovers. All the way to the top of the arc. Paredes lets it go, and it's in the net. Rodrigo Paredes with his 12th of the year, and the Eagles have a 2-0 advantage. What vision by Marquez to send one all the way up top. How did it find Paredes?
It's great. You're at the right space, a good 45, and a late arrival to the box. It's what Michael Bradley does for the U.S. Soccer team. Excellent finish.
You thought for a second that Marquez would just take the initial shot. He had a lane, and then he decided to be a little bit more patient with it. Almost got a corner out of it, and then somehow found Paredes up at the top of the arc and made it a 2-0 advantage. So Marquez picks up his 6th assist of the season, all coming off the bench. And Paredes has his 12th goal of the season, 3rd most on the Eagles, and they now have a 2-0 advantage here, still in the first half, with now 7 minutes and 24 seconds left to play in the national championship, the first half.